Well, property auctions throw up all sorts, from tired terraces to sublime semis.
We're in Sittingbourne in Kent, about 8 miles from Gillingham and about an hour by train into central London.
We always say on this show that it's great to buy in a location where there's a lot of investment planned for the area. Now, here in Sittingbourne, a huge multi-million-pound regeneration project is about to start. There are plans for a multiplex cinema, restaurants, new car parks and a traffic system. So generally, the centre of Sittingbourne is set to be transformed, which can only be great news if you're buying property here.
And the property I'm here to see is right in the heart of it all.
Stuck in the middle, stuck in the middle. And when I say it's in the middle of town, I mean slap, bang, boom. Look, right in the middle of town. But on this roundabout here, very close to the railway station, in a prominent position. Now, the property used to be offices for an electrical company, and it went to auction with a guide price of £140,000 to £150,000. And what a lovely house. It stands so proud. Gorgeous. I'm stuck in the middle. Oh, that's a bit annoying and loud. Little beep. Have to sort that out for starters. OK, so first in, well, there's none of the character that's on the exterior. It's as you would expect from a commercial building. Magnolia walls, hard-wearing carpet, strip lighting, and through here, I think this was probably a reception area of some sorts. And again, look, you've got big old strip lighting up there. This is where you would have walked in and gone, "Morning, can I help you?"
We need to talk. Step into my office, baby.
Actually, I think it's this property that needs the help. Along with the hall and reception, there's a small office to the right of the entrance, then towards the rear. Well, it all gets a little bit cluttered.
Well, it looks like the rest of the ground floor is being used as a furniture store. Gosh, look, there's beds and frames and sofas everywhere, stacked up against the walls. But if you ignore the piles of stuff and you see beyond that, well, it's almost a rather large open plan space in here. And it goes right the way through there and beyond.
Stairs at the back lead up and down 2 other floors. Go down and there's a basement. It's a bit of a warren of small rooms which are being used for storage. There are no windows, but at least it seems pretty sound and dry. It's only when you get up to the clear and empty first floor that you can get a real sense of how much square footage this property offers.
So what could you do with this property? Well, you could keep it as offices, or you could apply for change of use for another business. Maybe a restaurant could work downstairs because you're so close to the train station. Look, you're in such a prominent position. Or there's yet another option. Maybe you could convert this into residential use. Now, I think flats would work best here. Maybe 2, maybe 4, maybe more.
Since 2013, it has been permissible to convert some offices into residential using the permitted development rights.
I absolutely love a property that offers so many different options for redevelopment. Now, this building, it could stay as offices, it could become a different business altogether, such as a restaurant or a retail outlet. Or could it be converted into residential use, flats? What will the new owner pick? Let's find out who bought it when we went to auction.
Good-looking detached building right in the town centre. Obvious potential for different uses subject to planning. So, where you start me? 140, 150 is the guide. Is there a bit of 140 to start me? £140,000. Give me 130 then. 130 to start. £130,000. 130 in at the back. 130, I'm on the way. 130 and 2. 132 I have. 135 if you like. Got one. You were just behind 132. 135, 135, and 138, 138, 140 and 2. 142 at the back, and 4. 144, keep with it. 144, 144, and 6. 146.
There was some real auction tension as two very determined sets of bidders chased the lot. We rejoin when we've soared way past that top guide price of £150,000 to £174,000.
At 174, it's with you standing at the back now. 176 is against you in the front. 175. 175, I can read your mind. 175, 176, 176, 176, 177, 177, and 8, 178. Won't make it 180, get there first. 180, 180. At £178,000 and standing at the back, at 178 standing at the back for the first time, for the second time at 178. If you're sure you're done, third and final time at £178,000, sold to the back at 178,000, and that's G664.
The successful winning bid of £178,000 was made by full-time property developer Sunil, and we featured Sunil on the show a couple of times before. Last time, in December 2013, Sunil and his wife Geeta bought an old pub, also in Sittingbourne, which they converted into flats. So, here we go again.
Can I come back for more? Can I come back for more?
Sunil, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
This is the third time we've met, but you've not got lovely Geeta, your wife, with you today.
Unfortunately, she's got the property bug, but she's also unwell, so she's not been able to make it today.
So she's got the property bug and she's also got a bug.
Yeah,
oh my gosh. Well, look, tell me the story. Why have you ended up buying this?
This is right on the doorstep of the new development and the regeneration that's going on in Sittingbourne.
Yeah.
And it's 5 minutes walk from our offices, so it made sense to go to the auction and look and buy.
So do you feel you got this for a good price on auction day?
On auction day, I always have after auction regrets.
Do you feel you might have got a little bit carried away and paid a little bit too much?
Oh, definitely.
Really?
Yeah. But looking back in a very short period of time, I think, you know, if the generation does happen and everything does take place, I think it'll be good.
So even an experienced property developer like Sunil can get auction fever, but he's got it now. So what are his plans for it?
Because of the regeneration, we've made a pre-application to the council and asked them what would they like to see here, to see if we can somehow fit in with the plans which make our planning process easier later.
And that's a really sensible, savvy thing to do.
Our architect said, you know, maybe if we put a plan in, it may get refused because of the regeneration.
And that takes so much of your time.
And money, of course. So they decided that, you know, let's do a pre-application. Maybe they can come up with some ideas of what they would like to see happening with this particular building.
Of course, all that regeneration planning and negotiation could take time. And while Sunil waits on the planning guidance, he's got a short-term plan to make this property pay.
The first opportunity that we saw was that there's going to be lots of builders in the area coming out of from other areas because of the regeneration, and they're going to need accommodation whilst they're working rather than travelling each day. So we've divided the property into 10 rooms, which were previously offices, with shared bathrooms and shower rooms, etc. So that's the first opportunity to get some income coming in.
So it'll be more like an HMO?
Yes, definitely.
For the time being?
Yes.
So stage one is to turn the property into a house of multiple occupancy, or HMO. Sunil hopes this will take 2 months. His long-term plan, depending on the council's advice, is to turn the ground floor into a commercial unit and the first floor into 2 high-end flats. Phew! So lots of plans and ideas, but will it all be worthwhile?
So how much do you think you're going to have to cough up to get it to this stage? I mean, you've got to put 2 kitchens in, 3 bathrooms, a couple of showers.
Yeah, between 15 to 25,000 in order to get everything up to standard.
So you think it's worth spending 15 to 20 grand for the time being? I mean, you'll easily make that, won't you?
Definitely, yes. If they're here in the area for 2-3 years, they're going to need accommodation.
So you could leave it like this for 2-3 years while you've got your plans in motion for your ultimate scheme, which is what you want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, how much can you rent one of these for?
The total income, we're looking at £400 per month per room, so it's £4,000 anticipated income.
A month?
Yes.
That's fantastic. Sunil, congratulations. I am sure we're going to meet each other again soon, but well done and good luck with the scheme.
Thank you so much.
As always, Sunil is being very savvy when it comes to maximising the potential of this property. Stage 1, he hopes, will be an HMO with 10 letting rooms, cashing in on the redevelopment in the area. But will he get the permission he needs? You can find out how he gets on later in the programme.
Now, 13 months later, we're back. Well, judging by the outside, some work has been carried out. Let's hope the inside doesn't disappoint. Right, well, I wasn't expecting that. A corner kitchen in the room, and a separate shower area, and also a separate bedroom. OK, Sunil and Geeta, what's going on?
We did look at HMO situations, but when we looked at the actual figures and the bills that we would have to pay on a HMO, we decided to go for individual apartments.
Yes, so they did the maths, and then they did the maths again. Whatever way they looked at the HMO route, well, it just didn't add up. So having submitted plans for the flats, they put the project on hold and waited until finally they got the go-ahead.
So we've got 6 flats, 3 upstairs and 3 downstairs. They're all pretty much designed in the same way, just slightly sort of some colour differences, but other than that, yeah, they've been finished now, so we're quite pleased.
All the properties are one-bedroom flats, but because of the nature of the building, each one is unique, with flats on the upper floor slightly bigger than this ground floor flat.
This is the bedroom, and this is the living room come kitchen diner. So what we've done here is we've gone for different coloured tiles, and we've gone for different coloured kitchen units to give people the choice. But basically all of them have carpets in the bedrooms. This one has got an ensuite because we were trying to get the maximum layout in the overall space on both floors. So some had to be ensuite and some were not, but it does give people the choice. But they've all got wooden flooring, and the way the windows are positioned, it's great because it does bring in a lot of light. But I think this is one of the best ones because the colour of the tiles.
And this overall design look is down to Geeta, while Sunil project managed the development. So how well did that work?
We did work really well together, but we did have some instances where I wanted to do one thing because, I wanted to save money, and Geeta's going, no, we need to go for the best design and the best look. And now, looking at the flats, she's, I'm really glad that she put her foot down. I think it looks really good.
I think it's the little things that make a place, really stand out, even if it's from little, cupboard doorknobs to, toilet roll holders or mirrors. It does, those are the sort of finishing touches, I think, that does make a difference.
Geeta's right, it's the little things that can make all the difference. But I'm guessing one of the small things wasn't the budget?
So in total, it's cost us about 140,000 for all 6 flats.
Managed to let 2 already. We've got applications on 2 others.
2 flats upstairs are being rented at $650 per calendar month, and we're hoping to achieve a rental of $600 to $625 for the 4 remaining flats.
So when all the flats are let out, the total monthly return is likely to be around £3,750 per calendar month, which equates to a whopping yield above 14%. That's not bad for a property purchase that Sunil thought might be a mistake.
We don't have regrets now that we spent that initially, but on the day of the auction, I was regretting having, put my hand up a few more times than I should have done. I got carried away.
You did a bit. He always does.